Quentin Byfield was supposed to be leading the Kings by now, but the only place he's leading them is out of the playoffs. UCLA adds a caveman to its football team, and Angel City FC finally has a trophy. It's a fake trophy, but a trophy nevertheless. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is March 28, 2026, still on the road in Michigan, which sucks. But if you like being in the know about LA sports, because it doesn't suck, you should clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. By all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. It was a damn good night to be an Angeleno. Starting with Dodgers 5, Arizona 4. Mookie Betts hits a 3-run home run. Edwin Diaz gets his first save. LA is 2-0. The magic number is down to 160. But before we get too giddy about record seasons and all that, I want to remind you of something. Last year's team started 8-0. And then was meh for the rest of the regular season because they put it on cruise control. So it wouldn't surprise me that much if the same script plays out this season. Lakers 116, Brooklyn 99. Luka Doncic with 41 points. He's going to miss the next game with a suspension, though. He picked up his 16th technical. For real this time. Clippers 114, Indiana 113. Kawhi Leonard scored 28, including a buzzer-beating game winner. And Angel City FC is 3-0 for the first time in club history. They defeated Houston 2-1. Meanwhile, today, Arizona's at the Dodgers at 6. Tyler Glasnow versus Eduardo Rodriguez. And Utah's at the Kings. That's also at 6. So with that out of the way, what do you say we get to the news? Because there was a headline in the LA Daily News that irked the hell out of me. Quentin Byfield catching fire at the right time. And what irks me about this headline more than when a relative lets his dog pee on my foot is Byfield was supposed to be on fire all season. That's the responsibility that you take when you are supposed to become the face of the franchise. The mantle passing from Anze Kopitar 2? Huh? It like a reboot of the Marvel movie franchise. Byfield was supposed to be like the Human Torch of the LA Kings. And if the Fantastic Four is too obscure of a movie reference, I'll put it to you this way. Kopitar was supposed to hold up Byfield at the edge of Pride Rock, and all of us down below were supposed to start singing It's the Circle of Life. Instead, there is a legit threat that the Kings will miss the playoffs for the first time in a few years. And that would be an atrocious end to Kopitar's career. Jim Hiller got his share of the blame for this mess already. He's on the unemployment line. Ken Holland, we know he's the one who signed a couple of defensemen with osteoporosis and a colostomy bag. But when does Byfield take some of the hit? When does he take the blame? Not that he's avoiding blame. Nobody is giving it to him. The Kings have been held to 2 goals or less in 38 games this year. More than half of their games this year, the offense gave the team no chance whatsoever to win. And Byfield, who has just 42 points, was supposed to be the top center. He was supposed to take that role this year from Kopitar. And yet there are the scribes still trying to spin things and say that, well, but Byfield started to contribute now. Here's their proof of contribution. Byfield has been on the ice for 6 of the last goals by the Kings. All 6. So what? Pierre-Luc Dubois could be on the ice for a goal. Nobody's clamoring to bring him back. At some point, you have to stop talking about somebody being a breakout candidate. The candidate has to break out. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention something kind of uncomfortable. Because talking about race always is uncomfortable. It would be amazing to have a black man become the face of the franchise. I would be absolutely, you wouldn't be able to find anybody more approving of that than me, and I am the furthest thing from a social justice warrior. It would be terrific, because I have a number of black friends who love hockey. I would love to see them have Quentin Byfield as a man to rally around. The idea that LA could inspire so many black children to play a game that I love. I loved playing hockey. When I was a kid, though, I had to play it by myself, which wasn't as much fun. So yeah, I want Quentin Byfield to succeed and excel. But you have to produce. What does it say of the Kings' future, though, if the former number 2 overall pick still just glides along, not doing much of anything for 2/3 of the season? If the Kings miss the playoffs, and right now they are on the outside looking in, it is absolutely appropriate to shove a big part of the blame right on Quentin Byfield's lap. And if you're a Kings fan, let me know what you think in the comments thread. Can we take a moment and just appreciate that, unlike years past, UCLA football is actually trying to build a real football program? I know that sounds like a cheap shot. I do. But even the most ardent Bruins fan would have to admit that there's been years of neglect. If I were a Bruins fan during the Chip Kelly, Deshaun Foster eras, I would ask for every game to be scheduled at night so that I would have enough time to get blackout drunk and or stoned before kickoff. That way I could sleep through the game and hope that my friends would call an Uber. Unlike Tiger Woods, but I digress. Bob Chesney is a man at work. He has won over 4-star linebacker Colton McKibben from Carlsbad, New Mexico, for the recruiting class of 2027. Chesney is obviously leaving no stone unturned, because who the hell knew people played football in New Mexico? Huh? McKibben played for a high school team called the Cavemen. No better way to signal to your students how optimistic you are about their academic futures than to call them the Cavemen. We don't know if McKibben has opposable thumbs, by the way, but I digress. McKibben logged 111 tackles, a sack, and had an interception last season. But I will say this edition might give you a glimpse into what Chesney values. There are 3 pledges to UCLA's class of 27. 2 of them are linebackers. Now, look through that prism, I kind of like the move. Look, one way to build a football team is not a bad idea to say that we're going to base our defense on fundamentally sound tacklers. That's not a bad way to approach things. Linebackers are supposed to be that. We mentioned a few minutes ago that Angel City FC is 3-0 for the first time in history. Even better, they finally have something to put inside that empty-ass trophy case. For its entire history, the club that prioritized virtue signaling and brand building over, winning soccer, was recognized as Women of the Year by USA Today. Yes, the club that finished 11th in a 14-team league last year, the club that's only qualified for the playoffs once in its history, a club that's already been sold because, much like the female stereotype, they couldn't balance a checkbook. Women of the Year. Not the Kansas City Current, the best team in the NWSL regular season. No, not them. Not Gotham FC, which won the league title. Screw them both. Now, you might wonder what Angel City FC did to earn this $10 plaque that was engraved at your neighborhood Hobby Lobby. From the looks of things, none. This goes back to an article written by a lady at USAT who doesn't even cover sports or social issues. She's an entertainment writer. But the writer covered Angel City FC because she wanted to stay in the good graces of Disney's CEO, which the guy owns Angel City. So, break out your favorite tuba lip gloss and pucker up, scribe. Here comes that Angel City ass. Few reporters have never even bothered to ask if Angel City is any good. It isn't hard. But how did the local scribes cover this story when clearly this is a fake honor? This is from Fox 11. Quote, as Angel City FC looks to clinch its first National Women's Soccer League championships this season, it's already earned a new title, Women of the Year, unquote. Clinch its first title? The season is 3 games old, people. The Dodger season is 2 games old. Nobody's booked the championship parade yet. Quote, the newspaper even credits Angel City FC with changing the landscape of professional women's sports. Unquote. How? Explain. You see, this is how a media echo chamber creates this drumbeat that gets louder and gaslights us into things that obviously aren't true. Look at politics right now, right? We think we might be doing well in Iran. We don't know yet how right we're doing in Iran. That's why I'm not seeing a whole lot of people just spike footballs and burn ayatollahs in effigy. It's the same process. You get the echo going and you start to believe things that don't exist. This isn't about Angel City getting a trophy. It isn't about winning. It isn't about changing landscapes. It's about marketing. Understand, if Angel City ever decides to get a title, I will applaud. But here's the thing that I know that Fox 11, that USA Today, and Angel City FC don't know. Angelenos insist on winning. Angelenos insist on winning. And until they actually follow through with that, Women of the Year is about as empty a title as you can get. You're not fooling anyone. Did you watch the UFL season opener last night? Of course you didn't. But somebody desperate for content, even low engagement content, decided to list the former Rams players who are currently in the UFL. There are 11 former Rams spread across 8 teams, and I don't know any of them, so I want to thank Rams Wire for wasting my time. Well done, Rams Wire. At the cutting edge of journalisming, all the hot, sticky journalisming. But since we brought up the UFL, I really want to add this. The reason that is so unwatchable is terrible quarterback play. NFL teams have 3 quarterbacks. Multiply that times the 32 NFL teams that are out there, and the UFL's top quarterback is at best the 97th best professional quarterback, which is kind of a drop-off from Matthew Stafford, don't you think? And by the way, the league MVP from last year is a former Ram, Bryce Perkins, a quarterback. And he looked around at the UFL, said to hell with this trash, and moved to Canada. Jason Hayward, once a feared power hitter in Atlanta who briefly revived his career with the Dodgers, retired yesterday after 16 seasons. He befriended Freddie Freeman at the start of his career, and that helped him extend his career because, well, the dude signed a big money contract in Chicago, totally flamed out. He was going to give up the ghost, and Freeman put in a good word for the dude. Became a very popular guy in the Dodger clubhouse. And that's a life hack. Don't burn bridges. The Dodgers also sent Double-A power hitter Damon Keith to Milwaukee for cash, according to MLB Network. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, about Quentin Byfield's future with the LA Kings. For that matter, even though it's only 3 recruits, are you content with what they're trying to build over at UCLA football? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortel Queso production. Take care.